All right, let's go.
Good evening, ballers. Welcome to the 50th episode of the Stepback. It's your host, Leon Tompkins, my main man, Jacob Moses, and we are welcomed this evening by our good friend, Lukas Albert. How you doing,
Good to be
bro?
here. Pretty good. Pretty good. Good to be here. Excited for this tournament.
Sir.
Yeah,
A
man.
year off.
Yeah, we got the first night going on, first night of NCAA tournament. Guys might have filled out your brackets already. So here to help you guide along if you haven't. I think it's locked now, but
Yeah.
give you some insight on these players and how you guys fill out your brackets. So, Lukas, you're a big college fan from Illinois, from Springfield.
Yeah. It's we don't really have a pro sports team too close to us. I mean, we do with St. Louis and Chicago, but yeah, when Champagne's probably about an hour and a half from here, U of I is. So yeah, it's kind of like our big thing. And when there's a Illini fever around here, it's big. There's a guy in the gas station the other day who was claiming Ao Dosunmu was better than Michael Jordan already. So it's that type of Illinois fever in this area. So yeah, obviously I didn't even know how to approach that. So I was just like, all right, buddy, just whatever you think. But yeah. I'm pretty excited about it this year. I think it seems like there's a lot of competition. Like it was really hard to fill this out. I mean it always is because you're always second guessing yourself and everything. But I mean there's a lot of good matchups, especially when you get into round of 32, Sweet 16, what the potential matchups we could be looking at. Some good 4 seeds all the way down. So
Yeah, and like you mentioned all of the different matchups, and we have a the 5-12, the 1/16, like the 16s barely ever win, but we had a Ohio State going down today, busted a lot of brackets. How do you take the approach of filling out your bracket?
I mean, I try to just I'll do one at my official one. I think I start off and I'm like, okay, how did I just think? How did this year go? Like what is my first impression of these teams? And of course, you don't have a beat on every all 64 teams, but what's the best way I can my first impression of them is usually I'll tell my first one. Do a little research here and there on like the 8-9 games, 10-7, because those are kind of the in-between ones where you're like, oh, this seems most evenly matched up. But other than that, I think you just kind of guess. I mean, you're all guessing to a degree. So I don't know. You try to go off of what the tournament said. I mean, you always have like a 12 beating a 5 or something like that. That's going to happen. But just pick one. I like Georgetown to beat Colorado. So something like that. I don't know. It's really just do your own research at the end of the year. I mean, I've watched a lot more of the Big Ten as opposed to, the other conferences. So those teams I have really good beat on. But other than that, you kind of just know good players. You kind of go off of players and just matchups too. 3-point shooting team, can it get hot? That always goes far. But big matchup in the middle, can they rebound? Those sorts of things.
Yeah, look at the tournament time. It's always 3-point shooting and star players that kind of lead the tournament and carry a team. You look in the past like Curry or Toppin. Well, not Toppin, but Carmelo and Kemba, and you see what they've done in the NBA. So, Jake,
Yeah.
see you got the Duke colors on.
Goddamn right. I don't have a horse in a race, but I'm gonna rock him anyway. But yeah, it's weird. It's really weird not seeing your team there in 24 years straight. It's kind of weird, but I kind of like the parity right now because it's anybody's game this year. Anybody. I don't think I think it's one clear favorite. I want to say Gonzaga because they're the most complete team I feel, but other than that, it's pretty wide open, man. This is going to be wild. I think we're going to see more upsets than we ever had, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Whole year, Gonzaga's been running the table, 32-0, but you can kind of a lot of people ask what's their competition. Have they really played anybody? They played a few teams, but I mean they have 3 All-American caliber players. So it's hard to argue against the star power, but the way Illinois has been going, I mean, they're hot. You got the masked man in Illinois and Coburn. I mean,
yes, Coburn. Make sure you pronounce
yeah,
do not sound that out. do that to my man Kofi. Do not sound that out. When I first saw that on the recruiting list, when that pops up, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Well, this is gonna be, obviously I see size and everything, and a big recruit, but then I'm like, oh man, I hope this is not pronounced the way I'm reading this.
Yeah.
Kofi is a load, yeah. So that even today against some of these smaller schools, I mean, you're talking about a guy like 7 foot, 300 pounds. That's very rarely does the team have someone who can match up like that. Or if they do have someone, are they good enough defensively? Because he's pretty skilled too. I mean, he's not just throwing guys around. He's really working to get his buckets and everything, and has a couple of good moves. So.
Yeah, like he put in if anybody saw last week against Iowa, he put in the work against Garza, and Garza, I mean, he's putting up big numbers all year, and he had an issue with Coburn. Anytime he came in the game, and Garza had major trouble. I like what Illinois is doing. What's your favorite moment in the tournament?
For me personally?
Yeah.
Ooh, oh man, all time would probably have to be Illinois' comeback 05. Going in the tournament, only lost one game to Ohio State. We play Arizona in the Elite Eight. They had, who am I trying to think of? Stoudemire, not like obviously not Amari. I'm trying to think of Damon. He's a really good 3-point shooter. But coming in that game, I mean, he was the talk, like, oh man, we got to stop this guy. Got to stop this guy. Arizona had a pretty decent team that year, but we go down. I'm not even sure what the actual point was. I want to say we were down by like 15 with like 3 minutes left or something. Just crazy comeback. Darren Williams with a huge shot. D. Brown, Luther Head, Roger Powell. That game in the Elite Eight. Of course, we go on and we lose in the Natty, but that game is probably there. Second would probably have to be Nova beating UNC on a buzzer beater a couple of years ago. Yeah, that's got to be tops for me. After I bring up the 05 Natty.
Oh my God, that was great. But yeah, 05 was something. No, because Arizona, Salim Stoudemire, that was his name.
That's who I thought it was.
There we go.
But you got to think of that team: Channing Frye, Nick first round pick. Anyway,
yeah.
Hassan Adams, he made it to the league.
Yeah.
You got a few. They had a decent team, but yeah, Darren Williams, as I call him. Who? I think he lost his powers. I don't know what happened, but yeah, that run was amazing though. It was a good time, definitely be an Illinois fan, because he really carried that team and it was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was weird when obviously he was a bigger point guard, 6'3", he kind of fit the bill. Mm-hmm. But if you ask anyone around here that was really in Illinois, it was all about D. Brown. D. Brown was the guy for sure that year. But 6 foot, and I think he wound up with the Jazz for a little while. Mm-hmm. But I think he got hurt and just never really got into rotations or anything. So
yeah. That turned out to be the last big shot Darren Williams ever made, because I'm gonna.
Sorry with me.
I'm gonna carry that until the grave. I mean, you can't deny that run. Like the last time I actually liked Paul Pierce was in Kansas. That run he had over there was pretty nice. That buzzer beater that Villanova. I mean, it was a perfectly executed play.
It was.
You can't do anything about it, but I mean that was one hell of a game. And in Virginia, the other year was a couple years ago. Yeah.
After losing the 16 seed and then come back and win the national championship, that's got to be one of the best 2-year stories ever, other than like the Fab Five in Michigan or something, maybe, as far as 2 years in a row. But
yeah, it's definitely a lot of great moments, man. 15 was mine, because 15 was, it was so fun because they made so many runs. I went to the Syracuse and Duke game up in Syracuse. Blizzard. It was crazy. I don't know how we got up there, but I mean, Syracuse was kicking our ass whole time. Whole first half, I'm hearing it. Duke, Duke, just going. I mean, they were. I was actually just. I was, man, okay. And this was. I just said, okay, they're gonna come back. That's their thing this year. Okafor got hot. Ronnie Hood. Everybody just started coming around, and then the whole section was quiet. I'm jumping up. I told y'all. The guy turns around. He's giving me like the dirtiest looks. Oh man, it was so fun. I'm walking out there. They're booing me. Duke still sucks. And then, of course, Leon, the UNC fan, he heard it. So it's like the only team I can say I can really talk, and that everybody hates because it's pretty fun though. But yeah, I say team was the best one because I actually went to a game and then everything was just it's exciting.
So I had the years wrong then. Nova and UNC, was that because 2015 was the year Kentucky was undefeated and lost to Wisconsin, and then Duke won.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I had the years wrong then. Yeah. I know Nova beating UNC was around that time too. I think.
Was it 18?
It's more recent than I thought. That sounds right now.
It's pretty recent. It wasn't.
No.
We're gonna look it up right now.
That was Jalen Brunson, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
UNC.
But Jacob, you mentioned the crowd before and the atmosphere in the arena. We're not seeing that now, obviously due to COVID. A lot of different parameters going on. Tournament last year canceled due to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think any of that makes a difference in how you prepare your brackets?
It doesn't. I think it's more for a watching aspect because you like the crowd reactions. You know how they get the chants going at the beginning of the games to get their teams hyped up. Now you don't hear it. It's quiet, and it's not the same. Like I said, it's still watchable, but it's just not the same because you can't get as hyped up as you used to. But it never really changed my bracket. If you're good, you're good. You're gonna get picked. If you're facing a bad team, it's gonna be the same. It is what it is.
I mean that definitely makes a lot of sense. Well, I've updated. Oklahoma State took the lead now. They're up by 1, so far my bracket's looking pretty good. Speaking of brackets, I filled out 1. How many have you filled out? I only filled out 1. Yeah.
1.
Yeah, I filled out 3. I filled out 3, but that years past I only filled out 1. Illinois being so good this year, I'm probably a little bit more willing to dive into it a little bit more. But yeah, and I of course really only took a chance on the third one. I think with some weird ones. I think of course that's when we were talking about. I wound up putting UNC in the final, or not the Final Four. I think in the Elite 8 on that third one, just taking some chances. But it's already not looking good. So
thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple you go in with some money. I mean, another one you can just take your chances and see what crazy outcomes you can get. So we can go through the bracket for a bit, go through each division, find out what you guys picked and what your thoughts on these matchups. Well, some of them happened already, so we can go through that. Jake,
share it?
Yeah, you can share it.
All right, let's go. Share my screen. Boom, boom. All right, can you guys see it?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Bracket challenge. All right. Should have it. There we go. Can you see it clearly? Or you want me to
zoom in a little bit?
All right, where's my zoom on this one? Where the hell is it? Oh, here it is.
I already see your pick, champion.
I damn sure did. I mean,
Jesus.
I went all the way through. I was like, screw this. But yeah, like I said, you started off with Gonzaga and Norfolk State. Well, yeah, that team was pretty interesting because they really changed this from like a nobody school to then when Carlo Quinn went there, he kind of changed it around because they had that little run. But it's pretty cool to see a small school like that back in it. But yeah, Gonzaga, I can't Illinois. I can see maybe, but I don't know. It's just something about that team. I don't know. Kind of, they're good, but to me, it's like an anomaly kind of thing. I'm just like, I want to see them do it, but can they do it?
I don't know. I think so. I like Gonzaga, considering they run the table, and like I said, the star power is too much for a lot of these other schools to handle. So I think they'll breeze through to the Final Four. So I mean, I'd be shocked if they get knocked out here against Norfolk State. Was it Kispert, the gunner?
Shooter,
yeah. That guy is amazing. Jalen Suggs shoots him. Any thoughts on Gonzaga there, Luke?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Jacob on this one, where it's like, they're undefeated, so what, I can't hold anything against them. But it's just, I think it's just playing, and they've even had some good out of conference wins. I mean, who they beat Kansas, and there's a couple of decent wins that they have on their record. But yeah, I'm kind of the same way, where it's like I just want to see them do it once, and then maybe in years from now, if they're got a similar team, then I'll be a little bit more willing. But I still have them in my Final Four, and I still have them in my championship game. I think they're too good. I mean, that is just a good squad. Again, like I said, you can't hold anything against them. They haven't lost a game. So I mean, not a power conference or anything like that, but some of them are down this year anyway. Like ACC is not as great this year, so I can't really hold that against them, especially in a year like this.
But Illinois, though, what's his name? Dawson? How do you say it? Dawson Namo?
Ayo
Dosunmu. Yeah, I like that kid. I just want to bring that up. That kid, something about him. He got that grit, that hard play. I think he's a Chicago native too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, from Chicago. Him and Kofi definitely, I think, going inside, outside. They definitely do have a squad that could go far, as long as they got the consistency, which they're finding down the stretch here. So.
Oh yeah, they're pretty good. I would say they're a complete team. So.
Yep. So Gonzaga's wins were against Iowa, West Virginia early in the season, and Kansas. So they do have some pretty good out of conference wins. We've seen the undefeated teams go down before, Duke and Kentucky, but I don't see them in this bracket. Maybe given the biggest challenge with Iowa, but yeah, I haven't breezed into the Final Four. Got the 8-9 matchup, usually one of the toughest to determine. Oklahoma and Missouri. We're going to start off with you, Lucas. You have any thoughts on this matchup?
I didn't know Oklahoma that well. I know Missouri beat Illinois early this year as a good resume builder for them. So I went ahead and picked Mizzou in that game. Don't know how I feel about it. Just those 8-9 matchups, it's just like, okay, they're so close. It's just, I kind of go off of one thing that I knew, and I actually saw Missouri play this year. So I was like, okay, well, probably a little biased there. Again, I really don't know much about Oklahoma right now.
Yeah, I just know they're a good shooting team. Oklahoma usually has a good few shooters on the team, and they usually get some bye. And that's what I know about them. Like I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, all about. No, I'm gonna go Oklahoma because they can shoot, and we'll win.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, this one is always tough. Oklahoma had their scorer Harmon. He's going to miss the first 2 games of the tournament. So if anyone picked Mizzou, I think you might have a slightly higher chance to advance. But considering who your next opponent would be, that's pretty much one game bracket points for right now, getting that first win. Next matchup, Creighton and UCSB. I forgot who that was, but Creighton with
Gauchos.
Yeah, the Zagorowski, 3-point shooting team from the Big East. I think they're very streaky, very Jekyll and Hyde. But once they get hot, and I think they lost to Georgetown in the Big East tournament. So yeah, they're coming off a loss. I think they'll come in focused and I think they'll come out with a win.
Yeah, they're definitely. I mean, they led the nation today in the steals. It's just the Big East, but I know they they get on you. They
Yeah.
actually trap well. They're pretty good offensively. Like efficiency is up there. Like you said, Zagorowski, 15.5 points a game along with 4 assists per game. So, like I said, they have 55.7%, which is the best mark in the Big East. So once they get going, they're hard to stop. And I don't know if the Gauchos, I don't know if they have any. I don't think they have any chance actually, to be honest.
UC Santa Barbara. It's usually Santa Barbara, right? California.
Yeah,
Santa
that's
Barbara.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Creighton. Creighton's still coached by McDermott, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
McDermott's, yeah. Dougie Bucket's dad, and that's what.
Yep.
Yeah, they always have a decent squad.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
the next matchup, Virginia Ohio. I know a lot of people are big on Virginia, but Ohio's got a pretty decent player. Jason Preston is his name. He kept popping up a lot, and I kind of like Ohio to make a run. I don't know what I put him on my kind of more official bracket, but I think I may have even had them beating Creighton and going to the Sweet 16. Maybe just a little Cinderella run, but
okay,
like that. Hey,
that's really good.
Give any credence to Virginia considering their track record, or is it just a down year for Virginia?
I think honestly, I don't know. I don't even think it's that. I think they're like a solid squad. I just kind of fell in love with the whole 13 beating the 4, more than anything. Virginia, and yeah, I think there's a little bit of that. I think it's like, oh, okay, is Virginia going to lose this first round? Are they going to go to the Final Four? I don't know. That Gonzaga doesn't necessarily have the easiest path here, being the overall number 1 seed. I mean, they beat the 2-3 seed here, and with Iowa and Kansas, but even Virginia is a 4, and I mean, past that it gets kind of pretty weak. But I mean, those top 4, those 3 are Iowa, Virginia, and Kansas going up against Gonzaga possibly. I mean, that'll be some pretty tough competition down there.
Yeah, those schools are definitely legit. USC and Drake. USC has Evan Mobley out there in Cali doing some work, averaging 16 points. Edie shooting 40% from 3-point line. Kind of the Pac-12 is a bit weak this year, but Mobley's been highly touted, and considering this matchup, the higher seed and star power of Mobley, I'd go USC here.
Yeah, I'm probably going that way too. I kind of wanted to pick. I think Drake had to play a playing game. He had to win yesterday to even play. So, yeah, I always have a tough time picking because I have to pick that whatever teams and then pick against that team again. I'm basically picking against whichever 2 teams, then I can't do that. So I was just wind up picking the team that's already there because I'm like, that's too much to go through. Because I thought about Michigan State possibly too, but then they don't even make it into the round of 64. So
yeah, they blew that royally last night. There was some footage of Izzo and one of his players getting into it before halftime, I guess, because they allowed a buzzer beater, and you could see Izzo pulling on his jersey, and they more or less got into a tussle. So, considering their long name, Michigan State, of whatever company they're affiliating with now.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Yeah.
That's just awful. That's just awful.
Yeah. They're gonna need Draymond Green to save them. Kansas, Eastern Washington. Kansas really came on strong late. I mean, this is more or less it's an easy pick for me. Top 10 seed all year. Real work being done over in Kansas. Really not much to say about this one. You guys have any thoughts on Kansas?
They're gonna kick their ass.
At least like them to the Sweet 16.
Yeah,
I don't know past Iowa, but yeah, I at least like them against Eastern Washington and USC for sure.
Yeah, they have a balanced attack, especially in that starting 5. I mean, they all averaging double digits a game. I don't know too much about Eastern Washington. Who does? Unless you go there. But I think Okai and McCormack, I think that'll be just enough to get those guys through and on to the next one against Luke. Excuse me. I was about to call him Luke Herringrody because that's who he reminds me of. Luke Gardner puts in work, but I have my reservations about him. I'm telling you, there's something about him. He's good in college, but I think he gets to that next level. I don't know, but yeah. But as of right now, he's putting the work in, and you can go right to that next matchup, Kansas Iowa, which will be interesting though.
Yeah, I still think Iowa. Garza is just way too much to handle.
Yeah.
I think I forgot where I had them. I think I had them going up against Gonzaga.
Mm-hmm.
With Gonzaga taking it, but Garza's going to be one hell of a pro once he decides to go.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Gonzaga coming out of this. I think Lukas, you also had Gonzaga coming out of this. So
yeah, I do. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to go in agreement here. We're going to put Gonzaga in the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
We move to the other side of the bracket, the Baylor side. Baylor number 1 seed. Some would say the weakest number 1 seed. What's your thoughts on Baylor?
Athletic team, can get up and down. Only 2 losses all year, so again, kind of like Gonzaga, where it's hard to hold it against them. And I mean, Big 12, decent schedule they were facing. Beat Illinois again. I don't know. I'm not in love with them either. I'm kind of along there out of this. I like Arkansas in this region a lot. I still have them. I think I still have them in the Elite Eight, Baylor, but I'm big on Arkansas over here, honestly.
Yeah, Jared Butler, All-American finalist for Baylor. I mean, this team always been a high seed, but always been known to not finish the job. So their history is against them. I would pick them for maybe the first, 2 rounds. I put them in the Sweet 16, but not much further.
Yeah, that's pretty much fair. Like Baylor, I mean, the women can get it done. The men, let's be honest about that. But yeah, they like Lukas said, they're pretty athletic. Jonathan, I ain't gonna butcher his last name, Tachua. I mean, he can get up there. And then you got Adam Flagler. So you got guys that you can see them doing some kind of like getting some good games from. But I mean, I don't think if Wisconsin beats North Carolina, I don't see them getting past Wisconsin. Because Wisconsin's they're always a sneaky team. It's like they always get a few guys that can shoot, and then it just carries them.
Yeah, Wisconsin would be a pretty good match. I mean, I could see that going either way for this reason, I guess. But Wisconsin will really slow the pace of play and just slow it down so much and just work the clock and just try to wear you down like that. And that may throw Baylor off just enough. So
that's funny because my bias picked Carolina for this game, but realizing that they're way too young, inexperienced for this time. If I had to pick again, I'd pick Wisconsin, but that's why you fill out more than one bracket.
Yeah, I wound up picking UNC as well. I'm not gonna lie, but now that I'm looking at this and after Jacob brings it up, I'm like, yeah, that Wisconsin playing them. If of course I had to have them beating UNC, but Wisconsin against Baylor would be a tough matchup for Baylor. Although Wisconsin was kind of all over the place this year as well. So.
Villanova, Winthrop. Now this is a 5-12 matchup that most see Winthrop winning. Nova, although coached by Jay Wright, previous champions, squad is not as strong this year. Maybe due to COVID, Gillespie's still there, but Winthrop is led by Vaudrin. averaging 12.7 boards, 7 dimes a game, 23-1 on the year. You know, they definitely have a fighting chance against this Nova team. If I had to pick any 5-12 matchup for the 12 seed to win, this one would be it.
To be it.
Yeah, I know a lot of Jay Billis liked Winthrop in this game, if that means anything to anybody. I mean, kind of going from there, I know what I've heard about them is they're a fast team, I guess. And now looking at it, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys scoring in double digits. So it's kind of hard to imagine all 4 having a bad night. Of course, Nova's well coached and everything, so probably stiffer competition all year. But yeah, I like Winthrop. I picked Winthrop in this game.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's a good pick, but I think Nova can do it. You know, they're still filled with 3-point shooters. You know, shooters gonna shoot. You know, they get hot. You're not coming back. But Winthrop, they definitely 23-1. But the biggest thing with them, even coming into the tournament, as a lot of them, so can they run with the big boys? Even though Villanova is down, a couple of guys, it's just something about that team that they get up and play for Jay. Jay Wright. They play hard for him. He gets the most out of his players, and yeah, I think Nova still is gonna, pull it out.
Hall of Fame finalist, Jay Wright.
Sir, I'll be right back.
Next one, Purdue, North Texas. Purdue has been having a pretty solid season. North Texas as well. This one here, I kind of went with the seeding. Travion Williams for Purdue, averaging close to a double-double. Purdue came on hot as late. I like them there, but I don't think I picked them to go much further than 32.
Yeah, I think I have them beating Winthrop and then going to the Sweet 16. Just kind of maybe a little bit easier matchup there, but they're actually losing right now. So now I pull it up. So maybe it wasn't a good call, but obviously I don't know. Again, North Texas don't really know too much about them at all. Purdue, seen them more this year. Yes, I mean they're always good as well. Purdue.
Yeah. Texas Tech, Utah State. Texas Tech over with Mac McClung.
Yeah.
Again, the star power usually can carry you to at least the Sweet 16. I think with Arkansas, that's going to be tough even for one man. I think I had Texas Tech going to Sweet 16, just based off McClung.
Yeah. I do have them losing to Arkansas, but that's only because I have Arkansas again all the way in the final. I think I have them in the Final Four. I'd have to check. Yeah, I'm almost positive I have them in the Final Four, but they looked. I was getting a little worried. I think they're down by 14 at one point to Colgate earlier today, and I thought my bracket was about to get busted on the second game of the day, or second game of the entire tournament, but luckily they were able to pull it out. I think big game. Moses Moody had a pretty decent game, and then 29 from Justin Smith, 29 and 13 with 5 steals and 2 blocks. I mean, yeah. Arkansas is definitely a team that's they play again high pace. It's hard to emulate that.
Yeah, when they went on that 17-0 run, I was like, okay. Okay. Yeah. I think they got it.
I was watching. I saw it was down. They were down by 14. Had to get up and do something at work. Came back and they were up by 3. And I was like, all right. Don't feel so bad anymore.
So, Arkansas, Florida, with the thrilling win over Virginia Tech earlier. Florida with the comeback win. They were down by 10. That one was busted my bracket earlier, but nice step back 3 in overtime. They get the win. They now face off against Oral Roberts, where Ohio State totally just. I mean, I can't say Ohio State didn't show up to play, but I mean Oral Roberts really played well today.
Mm-hmm.
But 15-2, more often than not, the 2 takes you out. What C.J. McCollum was the
Yeah.
Lehigh?
Yeah, I remember that one. That was real fun. I mean, I didn't know who the hell he was. I was like, who that? Every shot didn't matter, just hitting him, and I'm like, I know we are not about to lose to Lehigh. And all of a sudden they lost, and I'm in the office, so I'm just like watching the score, and I'm just like, oh my god! And then I swear, the president of my sister company, everybody ringing my phone. Jacob, what happened? What happened? I'm like, I can't tell you what happened. I don't know. But yeah, it's always some thrilling ones. Just like what was the one? Loyola? What was it? Leon.
Loyola Chicago.
Yeah,
Yep. It's
Chicago.
like
Yeah.
that one was crazy. We're just like, hmm. But this is that kind of year where we can see a lot of upsets, like I said before, and I wouldn't mind it actually. We need some kind of parity in this. It's already crazy. 2021 is, it's kind of sticking with 2020. It's just going on
Yeah.
the same wavelength. So I think it's just going to be crazy as well.
Yeah. So you guys have Arkansas in your Final Four. I think I had. Shit, who did I have? Oh, I had Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
I had Texas Tech on the Final Four, but
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to now think about it. It's hard to go against Arkansas. It's just too much firepower.
Mm-hmm. They just play so fast. That's like Lucas tested to, man. It's up and down, up and down, up and down, and they keep it up for the whole game. So it's just, I don't know. You got to slow the pace down, and not a lot of teams can do that, especially now. But shout out to Eric Musselman, though. He's really got those guys playing really well.
Uh, yeah, shout out to him, man. We'll go over to the Michigan bracket. Now, this one here is kind of threw me for a loop because Livers was out,
Mm-hmm.
and the way they ended that they played in the tournament, it kind of soured me a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Juwan Howard's made a real nice impression on me. So
Absolutely.
I mean, I have Michigan in the Final Four as well against Texas Southern. I again, I have a hard time seeing them getting knocked out 116. LSU, St. Bonnie's. I forgot who I had there. I think I had LSU, but that's because they were with a strong showing late
Mm-hmm.
in the SEC tournament. Lost to Alabama, but it was a really, really good game.
Absolutely.
Colorado, Georgetown. Another 5-12 matchup that a lot of people have Georgetown going for because, Pat Ewing and Big East champ Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
You have any thoughts on this matchup?
Georgetown's talented, but what I've seen this year is the inconsistency. It was too back and forth. Of course, they won it. They kind of backed their way in. They won some games, but sometimes backing your way in works if you have the talent. Now, with that, they are really a consistent shooting team. They have some nice big guys there, but I don't know if it's going to get them that far. Like I said, it's a nice story, what's going on, but to be honest, Colorado, they're a tough team as they usually are. But if it's going to be another upset, it can be this one. But I roll with Colorado on this one.
Yeah, I want to hit with Georgetown on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of go off of again who's hot. They're not a little bit inconsistent. Came into the tournament though, like you said, Big East champs. And again, another thing I kind of look at is how many guys do they have that can score in double digits. So another thing I look at, they got 4 guys. So hopefully this one holds up for me. And again, another thing is coaching. Still kind of like I guess the jury's still out on Patrick Ewing as a head coach still, but obviously he did a great job as an assistant coach in the NBA. But,
Mm-hmm.
working with Dwight and some of those guys. So yeah, I went Georgetown here, but I don't see them going any further than that.
I mean, yeah, they get really the guard play. With Blair, Pickett, Harris, those three are going to be huge, and of course, what's that big guy's name? Not Sibley. I can't think of his name. Oh my goodness. Wahab or whatever his name. I think that's his name.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to put in, maybe a 15-10 game. He's gonna have to protect the paint, not let Colorado do whatever they want down there. It's gonna be tough, but it can be done. So it's not like it's gonna be a open and shut case for Colorado just because of their seeding, but it can happen. But we'll see.
Florida State, UNC Greensboro. I think this was a matchup. I actually took UNC Greensboro. Florida State, missing Pat Williams and Devin Vassell from last year. The 4th seed I thought was a bit high for them, but UNC Greensboro with Isaiah Miller, Southern Conference champs, real high-paced, high-energy team. I kind of like them in this matchup.
Daddy, something's wrong with my TV.
All right, give me a second.
Any thoughts on the Florida State UNC Greensboro matchup?
I just went Florida State here again. I didn't UNC Greensboro. Now looking at them a little bit more in depth, I may have been a little bit more inclined to pick them, but again, it's just when you start filling it out and you see a 12 versus a 13, you're like,
Yeah.
I had already picked Georgetown, so not that you should pick like that, I guess. But yeah, Florida State down year again for the ACC, but I went ahead and picked them in this game.
Yeah, same. But it makes sense. BYU, UCLA, these teams, UCLA kind of just, it was, it is UCLA. I took BYU in this one. They had a strong season all year. I thought the 6th seed was a bit low, but I took BYU in this matchup here.
Yeah, I went BYU as well. I thought the 6th seed was a little disrespectful to them, and they've faced some competition this year, so here and there.
Yeah, that's why I was a bit surprised how low they were seeded. Alex Barcelo, 16 points a game, shooting 55% from 3-point range, and 3-pointers, you win in this tournament making threes. Texas. Texas is another hot team. They've been top 8 for a good portion of the season. Matt Coleman, 13 points a game, Big 12 champs, shooting 40% from 3-point range. Any thoughts on Texas?
Coaching.
Texas got Shaka Smart, good defensive team. Yeah, good defensive team. He's gonna have that back from VCU. I like Texas to make a little run here, but I also like Alabama. So this is actually a pretty tough region here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but definitely a whole bunch of veterans on this team. Shaka Smart, great coach. I can really see them even going all the way. I mean, because defense wins championships, no matter what level you play on. If you can lock them down, you can win the games. And they dig in. And like I said, you might see a lot of these guys go in the draft. And Jericho Sims, he's another one. He's basically, and what's most impressive about him, he wasn't always in the best shape, but he really transformed himself. And he gets down there and he reminds me of Jared Allen. He reminds me a lot of Jared Allen. He wasn't like the most muscular guy, but he got himself in, great shape where he can actually grab boards, do what he has to do on the floor to make his team successful. And usually when you have a decent big guy or a down there in the paint, you usually make a run, usually.
Yeah, Texas is known for, their big guys. You say Jared Allen, they got Jackson Hayes over on the Pelicans. So it's a big man factory. Shaka Smart proven. that Texas-Alabama matchup is going to be real nice.
Definitely. Watch out for Kai Jones too. That's another one. He's another one that reminds me how Jackson Hayes kind of skyrocketed.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that happening. The same thing with Kai Jones. So
Little quick thing on UConn here. Now UConn is seeded 7, but they played most of the year without James Bouknight, one of the top guards in the Big East. Missed a good portion of the season with COVID and an injury, but he is the type of player who can carry a team, much like Kemba, much like Ray Allen, to a deep run in the tournament. So if anyone had picked UConn, advancing to 32 Sweet 16, it's not the worst pick. But you got Jacob. You have Michigan coming out of this bracket here. Lukas, where you have your this bracket? Oh, you muted. You. Well,
but Michigan
happens all the time.
But Michigan's definitely a deep team, and that's why I picked them the way they are. I mean, they always have a good 5.
Yeah.
And we've seen it from like even Tim Hardaway, Karis LeVert, the guys like that coming in, and I can't remember the other guy's name. He plays in the league now. Was it Wagner from?
Oh, Mo Wagner.
Yep, Mo Wagner. He's another one, another Michigan alum that can actually put the work in. They push out some players. Brazakis, another Michigan guy, but going to now, like you said, Juwan Howard. I think he was built for this job, man, because you've seen him around the league for so long with the Heat and paying his dues, and kind of like Patrick Ewing, he finally got his due, but it was in college. But hey, rather than start there to get somewhere. But plus he goes back to his alma mater and does what he's doing right now. It's really great to see. So definitely shout out to Juwan Howard on that one.
Yeah, Hunter Dickinson is a player.
Yes.
Big man with some moves, fleet of foot. Really putting in a lot of work. I also had Michigan coming out of this region, but this is probably the toughest one of the 4.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Because Alabama and Texas are really gonna fight that out.
It's tough, man. They're the 2 tough teams. They can get up and down the floor, well coached, and I definitely can't wait to see that one. Oh yeah, Wisconsin. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry.
Oh no! Don't remind me that.
Nah.
There goes another busted bracket.
Makes me feel better. This is a bracket. I bust that bracket all day. Bust it. Makes me happy. But hey, I had Wisconsin. Like I said, and it wasn't because of hate either. Like I just said, they were a better team. I mean, it is what it is. But who you got some impact guys though, Leon, coming out of here?
Hunter Dickinson. I think could be a player in the league. But Wagner is pretty decent. LSU has Wofford averaging 17 points a game. I mean, this draft is supposed to be much deeper than it was last year, and last year's draft turned out to be came out with some studs. But I'm looking forward to see what comes out of this.
Oh, for sure, definitely. Who's gonna lead the pack? Kay Cunningham. I'm hoping, this could slide up in there, get us a. But yeah, it's just but it kind of seems like going back to Oklahoma State, he seems like a one-man show kind of deal. Like they go as he goes, and that's what's gonna put him in trouble because we've seen so many guys be that number one dude and they just only could take him so far. But the kid is good though. He's damn good.
Yeah. You, oh, we good now, Lucas? Oh, yep. Yeah, give him a minute. Yep.
Yeah, it's fine. We got some more. You got Moses Moody,
Mhm.
Arkansas wing. I don't think he won't be a true superstar, but he'll be a guy that you can plug and play, and he can give you some production. 6'6". He was a big reason why they're number 3 seed in the tournament, and he showed why NBA teams could be high on him. He's a high 3 and D guy. That's what you want. One other guy, Scotty Barnes, that you can see. I think he's going to be a lock to be a top 10 pick, and he hasn't even unlocked his game yet. So the sky's the limit for him. 6'8" forward. ACC runners up in the tournament. Scotty Barnes, look out for him. Jalen Suggs, big reason the Gonzaga is so good. Um, he's the type of guy that can get them over the hump because we know Gonzaga has been there so many times, but they cannot get over the hump. But this could be the year, and I think he's going to be a top 5 guy. He's the primary option. He can do it all: threes, defense. He's quick. He's strong. Is what you want in an NBA, top 5 player. Um, USC, Evan Mobley. You liked him. You talked about him a little bit. He's 7 foot, but he moves like a guard, which is pretty awesome. But the one thing I think his weakness is going to be is his rebounding. You 7 foot, you got to rebound. KP, we talking to you. Um, I mean, but yeah, you 7 foot move like a guard. That's pretty great to see. And of course, like I said, Kate Cunningham's going to be the number 1 guy coming out. He came in projected as an NBA star, and 19 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds a game, do it all kind of guy. That's why I want to kind of see from RJ Barrett. I think he can be that kind of guy, just if he gets his jumper down. But Cunningham, I think he's destined for NBA stardom if he's put in the right spot. But other than that, back to the bracket.
Wisconsin still putting it on him, huh?
Yeah, 55-39. But UNC can make a run, so I'm not taking them out of it yet. Like I said, come on. I know Colgate was up on him, but come on, we saw a 17-0 run, and like it was nothing. So anything can happen, and especially March Madness.
Yeah, imagine getting taken out by toothpaste.
Oh, I know, right? Brushing your teeth wouldn't be the same.
So this toothpaste
Got you
school is
back?
about to break my bracket.
Oh man,
Yeah, I'm
this is
back now.
crazy.
Sorry.
That's all good. Giving everybody a little.
One earphone died in the other. I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on.
No, that's all good. We're just going over some future stars maybe in this deep draft coming up. So it's all good.
Oh yeah.
Did you have Michigan coming out of that region in your bracket? Oh, did you?
I actually have Alabama.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Michigan they're so inconsistent. That 3-week layoff, losing to Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament. I don't know. I'm just not big on them. I think Jawan Howard's a little ways to go as a coach. I mean, I'm not saying that I think he'll be a good coach. I mean, he's definitely going to bring in some recruits there just on name alone.
Right. Speaking of him as a coach, that execution in the Big Ten tournament against Ohio State, where he just dribbled out the clock for a chance to win the game, was kind of weird. I think he does put in some good sets. Definitely has the potential. I think for a first-year coach, he's definitely better than football version John Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, Jim Harbaugh. So definitely have more success than him.
For sure. But my big thing is Houston. I just want to get to Houston right quick. I think, are the most overlooked. Underlooked. Excuse me. They're the most kind of underrated number 2 squad because they excel at both ends of the floor. And the coaching, Kelvin Sampson he has those boys playing, man. And they had the 3rd highest field goal percentage in the AAC. Top team defensively as well. Um, the rebounding, they rebound really well. You know, Jerron Roberts, he's the reserve freshman. He averaged, but he's out. But so they're gonna miss him. But you got to watch out for Quentin Grimes because
Okay.
he's been killing it. I believe he is. I wrote my notes down right quick. Give me a second. 14 to 26 for 3 pointers, and that's 53%. So he can shoot the rock, aka kind of Dotson like when he was in school. But definitely Houston is a team to look out for. And after I got them going that far, because they can, if they get it going, man, you'd be surprised. So don't overlook the Houston team.
Yeah, in this Illinois bracket, I find it hard to go against Illinois,
Hmm.
but you make an excellent point on Houston. Another lower seed I do like here is Morehead State.
Ah, okay. HBCUs, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And, I mean, I wasn't too high on West Virginia anyway.
Nah.
Um, they're slower paced team. I think they're a bit behind, but
Mhm.
they played well enough early to garner a 3 seed. But Morehead State, you know, uh, John Broome, 13 points, 9 boards, and this is a team I think that can give uh, some higher seeds a lot of trouble, even if they do make it past West Virginia.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Tennessee screwed that bracket up for me as well. Thanks a lot.
Hell of a job.
But yeah, this is Illinois' bracket to lose. Lucas, this is your baby.
Take it away, Luke.
Yeah,
Yeah, I actually I was pleased. I mean, I'm trying to look at it rationally without looking at through with rose-colored glasses. I really actually do like their path here. The team that kind of actually scares me the most is Oklahoma State. With Cade Cunningham. That is definitely a team I could see as giving us some problems. But again, the Sunmu. I mean, we should be with AO pretty good against them as well. And of course, that's assuming they make it to the Sweet 16 to play us. I guess assuming we make it to the Sweet 16 as well. But yeah, I mean, if Loyola Chicago beats Georgia, but that 8-9 is pretty tough too. But I think overall, especially as you get on Houston, they've got a good squad, but it's not doesn't scare me like Alabama would be as like a 2, or Arkansas as a 3 in some of the other regions. But I do like their path to the Final Four at the very least.
Mm-hmm. Well, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham is just like on the other side, that star that can guide you to at least a Sweet 16, quite possibly an Elite 8, can scare a few teams with his star power. That's the number 1 pick. But like you say, Illinois has been on lately, and their path is much easier per se, as opposed to Michigan or Baylor. So I also had Illinois in the Final Four. Yeah, I mean, I think I went chalk except for Texas Tech.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how I had it.
Yeah, Texas Tech is I mean, Matt McClung kind of reminds me of like Grayson Allen a little bit. He reminds me of just like he's athletic. I think he's a little bit more athletic than Grayson Allen was at the point in college, but I mean, kid has game. Texas Tech, they'll give you a nice little run, but they're another inconsistent team. That's why I wasn't too high on them.
Can
And
Matt McClung's game translate in the NBA?
yeah, same thing, same way as Grayson Allen. He just has to find his way. He has to find the right squad that can utilize what he does. I mean, he can shoot, can't be scared of contact, and that's what I've seen Grayson when he plays. He does like school. Basically, he'll get to the rim and he'll try to basically draw that contact and utilize his free throw shooting. It was really good. But Matt McClung's the same way. You can't get bullied around there. And you notice also Grayson Allen's not trying to trip people. Well, he did with Trey Young, and Trey Young's gonna knock him in the eye. But but yeah, I think Matt McClellan can do it. Just depending, give him a team that he can like a Spurs team or something like that. With Popovich and guards, as you can see with Kentucky alum Keldon Johnson. Guys like Derek White, they excel in his system. And put him there, you never know.
Yeah, no doubt. Gonna get into Final Four predictions. You have Michigan, Iowa. I'm sorry, no, Michigan, Gonzaga. With Gonzaga taking it. Lucas, who do you have in your on that side of the bracket again?
On that side, I have Gonzaga and Alabama.
Okay.
Gonzaga and Alabama. Although I do now, I don't know. Of course, you get after this first day, I'm like, ooh, now I kind of like Texas a lot. So, but I was firm on Alabama. SEC was pretty good this year, and they've got some pretty good wins on their resume. As much as I thought the Big Ten might have been the most competitive conference, I actually have 2 SEC teams in the Final Four. So with Alabama and then Arkansas out of the South region too.
Okay. I had Gonzaga, Michigan, with Gonzaga taking it. If I had to pick again, knowing because I thought Livers would be coming back, but if I had to pick again, I'd probably go Alabama, Gonzaga, with Gonzaga taking it still. But I definitely I'd put Alabama in there. On the other side, you have Houston and Illinois. No.
No, Houston. Yeah. What else do I have? Hold on. My bad. Hold on. Let me go up a little bit. Should have told me to scroll up, guy.
My bad. Houston, Arkansas. Okay.
Houston, Arkansas. There we go. So I'm like I said, that's a tough team right there, and they can do something. And it's going to be hard for a lot of teams to deal with their defense. And like I said, it's a lot of good defensive teams in this tournament this year. And whoever's going to be able to dig deep enough to get it, that's who's going to win it all.
See, I had Texas Tech, Illinois, with Illinois taking it. If I had to pick again, I'd probably go Arkansas. Yeah. If I had to pick again, I'd go Arkansas. I still wouldn't trust Baylor in that. I could pick that bracket 5 times. I wouldn't put Baylor in at all.
I don't think I had them in any of my Final Fours either. Consistently far, I think I had them losing the Elite Eight every time. I'm just big on Arkansas and Illinois on this side of the bracket.
Yeah, same here. So, championship game, you have Gonzaga, Houston, with the team going undefeated, finishing the job. 3 stars, getting it done. There's nothing more left to say than a fairy tale ending.
And Jalen Suggs, he's gonna go off on top and start his NBA career as a top 5 pick.
Like that.
Hopefully in New York.
I had Gonzaga, Illinois, with Illinois taking it.
I can see that.
I think Colburn is going to end up being the most outstanding player. That you can't teach size, and I think he's going to dominate. If there's one thing I think Gonzaga may have an issue with, it may be with size. Gonzaga can shoot him out, but if Colburn puts his will in the game, Gonzaga's going to be in for a world of hurt. So I have Illinois with the championship, Colburn as most outstanding player.
Okay. That's fair.
I have to agree with that 100%. 100%. I also have Gonzaga and Illinois. Got Gonzaga all the way to the championship to lose their first game. Of course, yeah, I'm probably biased here, of course, with Illinois, but Yeah, I agree. Like Leon said, Coburn. I think Ayo may be getting more attention now, and rightfully so. I mean, he's been good, especially if the tournament would have been played last year. I think they really would have made some noise. I think they really caught people by surprise this year. I think they probably would have made the Sweet 16 if there would have been a tournament last year. But yeah, Ayo probably gets a lot of the attention. Curbelo is great off the bench. He had a lot of kind of turnover crazy at the beginning of the year, but now, I mean, he's great getting to the rim. I mean, just a beautiful passer and get inside to Kofi. But yeah, I agree. Coburn, there's just no one like him. I mean, it's like I heard a couple people, the game has changed so much, and he's not necessarily this, but it's like watching Shaq out there. I mean, he's that type of presence. I mean, some of these guys just can't do anything. Like Garza, for instance. I mean, decent sized guy. Kofi's just throwing him around. It's hard to match up against that. And they can do it in other ways too. So,
yeah, I like Granderson out there too. He's a hell of a player.
Yeah. DeMonte Williams from Peoria, Illinois. Shout out. He got really hot in the Big Ten championship game. So yeah, they've definitely got some pieces and are deeper this year. Actually, their old 05 team, talking with D Brown, Luther Head, Darren Williams, really small. They got to the national championship against UNC. And Sean May just threw him around. I mean, he was only 6'9", but I mean, he probably had to be 285, 300, close up there. And Augustine and those guys just couldn't do anything. So yeah, I think this team definitely built for a run though, for sure.
Can't forget about Big Ten six-man of the year, Andre Curbelo. Can't forget about him.
Absolutely.
That's a good freshman that you got there. It looks like you're gonna have one of those solid teams. You know, you guys you can remind me of a Nova. Like if you keep these guys together and you can just pump them out, always have that solid team just every single year that can go somewhere. But yeah, if this is gonna be the year for you guys to win it, this is it. If it's any year, this is it.
I do agree. I kind of have to jump on that. We're not. I don't know how consistent. I like that Nova comparison because Illinois is a basketball school. They've just been down for so long, and it's Underwood came in, and now we need that Chicago pipeline. Get some guys from St. Louis as well. So I watching these Chicago guys go to Kentucky, Duke, UNC just would drive me freaking nuts. now we're back, baby. So love it.
Oh yeah, you definitely had the Jabaris, the Jalils.
Yes, all of them.
AD is crazy.
Yeah, none of them.
I don't know. I just don't get like me if I play like professionally or at the collegiate level, I want to stay home. Like it's something like playing in front of your home crowd, and maybe it's just the pressure, or maybe they just want to get away from that, so they don't have to be around the temptations and stuff like that. But me, I think I would stay home and light it up at home.
I think
cheering for you.
The sell might be different if it was Northwestern, with Evanston being basically Chicago. Champaign is basically Indiana. You're basically almost in Indiana at that point, which actually may play into their favor with a pretty good home crowd for all these games. But yeah, it's a little bit tougher sell to keep them at home. But yeah, we're probably still about 3 hours from. I think Champagne's probably about 3 hours from Chicago, but close enough. So start coming. Flip the line. Indian players, Whitney Young, all you guys coming out there.
I mean, I actually like the fact that Illinois come in with I mean, they have talent, but they also have a little bit of flair with them with Colburn and DeMontu. The mask is just everything, Him the last mask man in Illinois. We called him the Pied Piper. And it probably didn't turn out too well for him, but I think he's going to get a different story here. But yeah, I like Illinois. I have them win the championship. And if you guys have filled out your bracket at home, have fun. You have fun doing it. Gonzaga, Illinois, Baylor, go chalk with Michigan. It all works out. Get yourself some money. I know we tried to do one here in the group, but with COVID and everything, it kind of went south a bit. But this was very informative, very fun. I know Lukas, you're a newly anointed football life admin over like we crossover. Big Viking fan.
Yes.
NFL free agency. How's everything working out for you?
Oh, I'm loving this right now. I was not expecting Patrick Peterson. I knew we'd have to make some sort of splash with the line, getting Tomlinson from the Giants. That's a big thing. The only two Dalvins in NFL history now play for. I think someone, I don't know who commented that to me in the group, but yeah, the only two Dalvins in NFL history now play for the Minnesota Vikings. So we've cornered the market on Dalvins. Get Patrick Peterson. I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this year. We need something to get past the Packers, so, and the Bucks, and anyone else. I guess the Saints lost Breeze, so that helps.
Yeah. It's not like it'll be the Bears.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they made it really, really easy on us. And it was funny because like a week ago, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna get Russell Wilson. Now I'm like, oh, okay, Andy Dalton, who beat us this year with the Cowboys, so I don't know what to think, but now.
Yeah. Well,
Oh man.
What's your thoughts on Kirk Cousins over there, though?
See, Kirk. The thing with Kirk, he's a good quarterback. He really is. But he's one of those types of guys. He's not going to make, a ton happen with less. Like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson can play behind a kind of a crappy line, run around, make something happen. But Kirk, his biggest knock is he has like literally the worst pocket presence I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he'll just stand there like a statue, and just the guys rushing off the that drives me nuts. But when he has a second to really stand there and throw it, I mean, Thielen and of course Diggs before this year, and then Justin Jefferson. I mean, yeah, they're incredible wide receivers. But I think in his second game with us, after we signed him, we played the Packers, and that was the first time I was like, okay, this guy actually has some pretty elite arm talent, but. I don't know. He's not. Jury's still out. He's won a playoff game, so
yeah.
I got a little bit going for me now, or Kirk does, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have anything going for me as a Viking fan, but.
I mean, Dalvin Cook is a stud. It's just the kicking game that it's always the kicker.
My entire life, I'm not even 30 years old, and I think I've watched us lose 4 or 5 playoff games just on field goals. 98 championship game.
I remember that one.
Oh my gosh. Gary Anderson missing, yes. Of course everyone knows Blair Walsh from against the Seahawks. And that really made me so mad because Teddy Bridgewater then, destroys his leg the next year, and that was that. And that was the end of that run.
But you had the Minnesota Miracle though.
That was the circle of life just evening out for us finally. In that moment I was over my dad. My dad is a big Vikings fan, has been since the early 70s with Fran Tarkington and those guys. So you'd be happy I said that on a podcast. So I had to put that. I think I jumped on him and the DVR went off. So I actually, like, as that was happening live, I see Diggs and he's running to the sideline, and I didn't even know what happened for a couple minutes after because I had hit the DVR, and then they're all mobbing in the end zone. I was like, okay.
Nice. But I will say, as a fellow division foe, as long as we can get rid of Rodgers, we're all in it together. But
yes.
This
will be Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins' division soon enough. We're just battling it out every year. Cousins versus Goff. Yeah.
Good Lord. But but congratulations on your newly anointed admin role.
Thank you.
Perfect role for you.
Good to be here.
Great contributor to all the groups, man, and it's really, really great having you on. And since you're in Springfield, I'm going to put this on camera. It's too.
Bart. Oh, okay. I couldn't tell when it's those pop things. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. And it's excellent. It's the
yeah. I wish I could turn my laptop around. I have a hand that just comes out on a sticker that goes towards a button that says "Release the Hounds." So, of course, then Homer is radioactive man back here. Absolutely.
Oh my man. Again, it's been great. I'd like to thank you for coming on. To all of our other podcasts, you can catch them in the Life Group Podcast Network by subscribing to the YouTube channel, as well as Anchor, Spotify. We're also on iHeartRadio now, Apple. You can catch all of our previous podcasts as well. You can catch The Audible, Matt and Randy, Tuesday nights. Dong City, Monday nights over in Baseball Life. Vince Mercandetti, Henry Maldonado Jr. Catching up on spring training. They recently had their movie updates. This Monday is the NL Central. That's a god-awful division.
Oh, gotta show some love for my Cubbies here.
Oh yeah. You got the Wrigley scoreboard. I mean, you gave away half a team, though, man. Chris Bryant, you think he's gonna stay?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna lean no. I think there's too much going. And with Boris as your agent, it seems like that's a foregone conclusion that you're gonna leave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of our fans seem to, as of course tons of Cubs fans across the groups, seem to love them some David Bodie. So for whatever reason, I mean, he's good, a good bench player, but yeah, I don't know if I see Chris sticking around. Javi's extensions got pushed back a little bit, so I don't know. Hopefully we can keep some of these guys, but it's slowly starting to dwindle away on my sweet 2016 World Series championship team. So.
And listen, we got one more than this guy, so that's all that
true.
matters.
That's true. Yeah, like I said, Mets ever won one, you're gonna have to block me because it won't stop. The party will never end.
Catch those guys Monday nights, 7 p.m. Baseball Live previewing the NL Central, and Sunday mornings, Total Bases Podcast with Felipe Milicio and Sean Connor Flannery. Get your fantasy baseball news and updates from them. It's draft season. We're in the middle of one now in our Baseball Life League. I think it's round 15 now. So.
Oh yeah, make your pick, by the way.
You see what I'm doing right now?
Hey man, you can look down and go pick. Oh,
no, I'm going to pick the wrong one, and everybody's going to hear it later. Promise.
Don't forget about the Workshoot, though. Workshoot podcast. Don't forget about you guys, Corey Richmond, Jason Brooks. Keep doing your thing. Great work. Leon, yeah, make your pick so I can celebrate this ass kicking of North Carolina.
AE-dub. But
the curse of the Leitner.
But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for your time. And also, we're going to be moving to Fridays now. So we'll catch you next Friday, 7 p.m.
Yes.
Till next time, up and at 'em.
Oh, thank you, Lucas.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.